Good afternoon, UTLA family. Good afternoon to all the educators, parents, grandparents, guardians, and students with us today. It is so exhilarating to be with you this Friday as the school year ends and summer break stretches before our families. This will be the last regularly scheduled live Friday update, but we will still be in this virtual space off and on to keep educators and the community updated throughout the coming months. Today, we will talk about the tentative agreement we reached yesterday with LA Unified to maintain important safety conditions both for the fall and also for the thousands of UTLA members and students whose programs continue through the summer, including our fantastic early childhood education program. The agreement gives us a solid picture of what teaching, learning, and supporting our students will look like next school year. It is so encouraging to know that unless the pandemic worsens, our learning communities will be back together in person 5 days a week for the 21-22 school year. The agreement is subject to ratification by UTLA members and would be effective beginning June 23rd. I will walk through the key elements of the agreement. I will lead with COVID safety, which has been our top priority since the pandemic began. LA Unified has the lowest number of COVID infections among the nation's largest school districts because of the safety protocols educators, parents, and community members have fought for and won. And we will continue to put health and safety first. The tentative agreement maintains necessary, concrete, enforceable COVID protocols from the current agreement, including COVID testing. The minimum requirement is for testing every 2 weeks for 20% of students and staff per school, while the county is in yellow tier. But the district will continue weekly testing of all students and staff working at school sites through the summer. We will continue discussions with the district over fall testing plans based on evolving pandemic conditions, daily symptom screening, and daily cleaning and disinfecting of all school buildings. Ventilation with monthly inspection and continued use of higher rated MERV 13 filters until at least October 1st. Mask requirement for students, staff, and visitors with a provision that either party can demand bargaining over potential change to this requirement after September 1st, 2021. Having more children vaccinated may move us closer to eliminating the mask mandate, but as of right now, masking is a critical way to protect our learning communities and the most vulnerable among us. Paid leave for staff required to quarantine and the continued ability for high-risk staff to request remote work in the online program through the reasonable accommodations process. As far as physical distancing, that will be governed by county guidelines. Changing conditions, including the increase in vaccinations and reduction in infection rates, as well as the need to physically accommodate a full return of students. Required adjustments to the physical distancing requirements in our hybrid agreement. The agreement stabilizes our school communities in critical ways. First, there will be no displacement of UTLA members for next school year. Those educators who have been in danger of being forced to move from their current school will now be able to remain at the school for the 21-22 school year. Second, special education programs will be protected. Special education educators assigned to special day programs will be maintained if classes have over 50% enrollment. And special education educators who are assigned as resource specialists will be kept in place. All of this is so critical for our students who have suffered through so much change and upheaval. Our students need loved and trusted educators to stay in place at their schools. The agreement calls for the district to make every effort to avoid combo classes. For those who have not heard of the term, a combo class is when an educator teaches more than one grade level of students. For example, third and fourth grade students together. It is a less than ideal situation for educators and for students, and it will be avoided if possible next year. If a combo class absolutely cannot be avoided, the educator will receive a stipend for the extra work involved. In support of professional development for educators, the training pay rate will be permanently increased from $25 to $50 an hour. The agreement also creates an expanded online-only independent study program academy for students, families who choose to stay with remote learning. The program would follow the City of Angels model and use a mix of daily live synchronous learning and independent work. The agreement has a provision for UTLA and the district to immediately begin the process for 21-22 reopener negotiations on salary and additional items. And in fact, our fantastic bargaining team is ready to get right back into bargaining over the summer. Those are the highlights of the agreement that UTLA members will be voting on. Dates and details of the ratification vote will be announced early next week. We encourage everyone to read the text of the tentative agreement. It was emailed to UTLA members yesterday and is posted at utla.net. There will also be a citywide chapter leader virtual meeting on Monday from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Chapter leaders, if you did not get the link, reach out to your area representative. This agreement addresses the urgent issues facing educators returning full-time to classrooms and other assignments. We will use 21-22 contract reopener negotiations and our full contract campaign to fight for additional improvements and to make sure that the temporarily increased state and federal funding is put to good use to support the healthy, healing, racially just schools our students deserve. Now, I will hand it over to the other UTLA officers for their end of year messages for our learning communities.
UTLA members, congratulations on making it this far. You have done the impossible. You managed to make connections with students across this city, transferred your entire classroom into your homes, and were honorary guests in your students' homes day in and day out. These past few months, we've had some pitfalls, but we've also had some major victories in a lot of ways. Our health and safety language was like no other language any teachers union in this country was able to win. This tremendous victory protected members and our students from falling victims to the pandemic. And just this week, we were able to secure a major victory with language preventing layoffs, language protecting special education programs that will deliver stability in our schools for our members, students, and communities. But make no mistake, our victories were because of our collective power. The thunderous booms of 60,000 people that filled the halls of City Hall in 2019 still reverberates the memory of the district. Our collective powers has always been our strongest muscle. So as you head into the summer break to disconnect and recharge, know that the next school year, we will also face new challenges and we will have new fights. We cannot let up on union organizing. We must continue funneling our collective strength to demonstrate our power as a union. Have a great summer, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Alex Orozco, UTLA Treasurer. Congratulations on finishing up what will be go down in history as the most difficult year in our teaching careers. Congratulations. Now it's time to go and enjoy your summer. Be with your loved ones, family, and your pets. Go enjoy this well-needed time off. And also just a special shout out to all the counselors and the out-of-classroom coordinators and educators who made graduations and culminations possible. As a father of a proud senior graduating, I'm so thankful for bringing some normalcy back into their lives. Again, have a great summer. We love you, we appreciate you, and let's continue on this fight.
Hello, everyone. I am Juan Ramirez, UTLA AFT Vice President. We are finishing a very difficult year, but there is a lot more to accomplish in the coming year. Have a great summer break and get ready to come back and continue the struggle to serve all our students.
Greetings, UTLA family. This is Arlene Inoue, UTLA Secretary. With your pandemic perseverance, we've fought hard for high health and safety standards for our school community. Your bargaining team will continue to negotiate over the summer. Have a rejuvenating and wonderful summer break. Make those connections and stay strong.
Hi, LA educators. I'm Julie Van Winkle, your UTLA Secondary Vice President. And as you know, it has been quite a year. We all witnessed history being made during the pandemic, and not only did you reflect and process, but you navigated your students through all of this as well. I'd like to especially recognize the first-year teachers. Congratulations, you survived an unprecedented year. Everyone, enjoy your well-deserved summer. Relax and get ready to fight for the healthy, healing, and racially just schools that our students and communities deserve.
Hello, UTLA and community. I'm Alex Caputo Pearl, the UTLA NEA Vice President, just finishing my 31st year in public education. A huge recognition to all of you for incredible work during this unimaginable school year. You should walk with pride this summer for what you went through. What I'm looking forward to most is continuing to work with Cecily and this incredible team of officers at UTLA, the incredible UTLA Board of Directors, our incredible chapter leaders, school by school, and all UTLA members worksite by worksite. I'm also looking forward to continuing our work with community partners in fighting for visionary community schools and racial justice.
I am so proud to be working with this team. Dedicated, focused, and strategic. Thank you. Now I want to add my own thoughts as we close out the school year. In our year of pandemic learning, parents and families showed up in new and profound ways to support their children's learning. Educators pulled off magic and mastered teaching the curriculum in new ways, and students showed once again just how resilient they are. I want to thank you all. From our early ed, elementary, and secondary educators, DHH, SPED educators, our counselors, adult ed, nurses, PSAs, PSWs, psychologists, HHH, HHS personnel, itinerants, teacher librarians, out of classroom folks, and anyone that I may have missed. All of you matter and we thank you. Thank you for being there for our babies, their families, and our learning communities. As we close out this year, we mourn those we have lost. We uplift the lessons we have learned, and we turn the page forward to in-person learning communities 5 days a week for the 21-22 school year, unless conditions worsen. I want to share the story of Monica Lopez, a dual language teacher from Grandview Boulevard Elementary. In a year like no other, when every educator has had to go above and beyond, Monica had the added pressure of going through treatment for cancer. Through all of this, Monica maintained excellence in her classroom. For Monica, it is not enough that her students learn. Through song, dance, poetry, and games, not included in textbooks, she teaches her students to love learning. By making time to read aloud to her students, Monica teaches her students to love to read. By showing her students how to paint a picture with words, Monica teaches her students to love to write. By teaching them fun math games, Monica teaches her students to love math. For all of this, Monica's colleagues recently honored her as the Teacher of the Year at Grandview. We love you, Monica. We are looking toward brighter days, but we cannot forget the storm we have weathered. It will take time to process the year we have had. As a union, we are committed to doing that work together and undergoing a deep member engagement process starting this summer with our chapter leaders. This ongoing deep engagement will set the priorities of our union and our work together for public schools. This pandemic has devastated so many families and laid bare the deep inequities in our society. For Black, Brown, and working families, this pandemic has been uniquely tough. From losing jobs to losing homes to losing loved ones, this school year has been a challenge. This year has tested our teaching skills. It has molded our quest for equity, and it has caused us to realize the world is less black and white and more like a couple of hundred shades of gray. The reality is not all of us experience the pandemic in the same way. And as we turn the page on a new year, we must keep that truth front and center as we fight forward for a healthy, healing, and just recovery for our students. I look forward to having a sustained dialogue with you about how we make that happen. I take so much inspiration from our resilient community of educators. Our strength comes from our collective voice and from putting students and families at the center of everything we do. Now on to summer break, what you have been waiting for. From the bottom of my heart, I wish you and your family a safe, restful, restorative time. You deserve it. A UTLA member posted on Facebook that she's not sure her body physically knows how to relax anymore. And that is probably true for most of us. I want to send a special thank you to Miss Thornton, Giovanni's teacher. Thank you for an unforgettable 4th grade year. And let us commit to relaxing, to self-care, because boy, we need it. We cannot do our best for our babies unless we have the time to replenish our essential spirit. Until next time, stay UTLA strong, because together we rise.